inspire.
Welcome back to the Kidney Stone Diet Podcast, the show about reducing your kidney stone risk and living your best life. I'm your host and fellow student, Jeff Saris.
And I'm Jill Harris, your kidney stone prevention nurse. Hello, Jeff.
It's...
What's new?
Yeah, we were talking a little before. It's been a rough week. I just wanted to sort of address it up top just to, get it out of the way. Just like our friends in the kidney stone diet community, like people know about my cat Alpha. And without letting it break me down a little bit, but like we had to say goodbye this week. And it's just really hard. And I'm still getting through it, but I just wanted to just get it out there. It's just crazy how quickly stuff like that happens. Like the day you told me about Luke. Alpha was like just about 11 years old. Never a single thing at that point. Never a single issue. Never had to bring him in for anything. But then a couple weeks later, things started to not be good. He was having digestive troubles and things. Brought him in, and they found lymphoma. And yeah, it just rapidly declined and changed until this week, where we had to sadly make the call. Just but spent every moment I could with him, and like making sure he knew, how much he means to us, meant to us. And it's tough though. Been around 11 years, 24/7. Like I've been running this business, Spire, like our business, since 2010. So like he's been like on my lap, on my hip, next to me, in my shadow for 24/7 every day for 11 years because I do everything from home. So yeah, it's a challenge, and it's really sad, but I'm grateful. Like I'm grateful for everything that he brought into my life. And yeah, and I like to think that he knows that, because we were so close, and we had this different bond, this thing that like I didn't realize the intellect of cats before. I never had a cat growing up or anything, but I mean, he would just look me right in the eyes, and we had this connection where like he's like, "You good? Everything okay?" Or he's like, "Hey, I want this," and I'm like, "Oh no, I get it. I'm coming. Like we'll do this." But yeah, always with me, always by my side through thick and thin. So yeah, just wanted to share and let the community know, because we did have the little the moment where he was hidden behind the screen at the end of the episode, where I'm like, "Oh look, here's Alpha," and then no one saw him, and people were like, "We couldn't see him," and I didn't even realize. Right. But yeah, so just wanted to let everyone know, and yeah, just give your family, your whether it's your pets, your loved ones, just anyone, give them a big hug today. Just don't take any of it for granted, because stuff can happen in an instant, and yeah, we just have to make the most of it.
Well, I'm obviously so terribly sorry about Alpha. I know how much you cared for him and what he meant to you in your life. And, we talk about this on the Facebook page too. It's a very robust community. And so some people will say, "What the hell are you talking about? I want to know about kidney stone prevention. I want to know about the diet. What are you talking about here?" Well, we talk about these things in our community, in the stone community, and on this podcast, because everything that goes on in our lives affects our lifestyle. So for me, when Luke died, I didn't eat. Jeff, I don't know how you handle stress in your life or sadness. So how has this changed your lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm also grateful because I have Amara here. So
yes,
we're able to sort of balance everything. But we decided, like, since it was Tuesday would be a celebration day, a celebration of his life. So we bought a bunch of treats and different things, like for us, that were lots of sugar, lots of things that we normally wouldn't be doing, because we have our diets pretty dialed in. But it was something like, no, this is a moment to celebrate his life. So we actually, we've had, I would say that I would be much less sort of on track right now from my normal diet. But I'm also like, I'm looking at it differently. Like I'm not doing like a disservice to myself. I'm sort of doing, it's a little bit of a tribute to him, along with me getting the little like dopamine and stuff. I mean, honestly, I have a bar of chocolate right here on the table. It's like just the little things that can help out. Like obviously chocolate kidney stones, not the best idea, especially 100% cacao, which I have. But it's just those little things that like yeah, just helps me through the day and helps me sort of keep going, even though because like obviously not keep going in like some morbid way, but just like it's challenging. Like you have this loved one right there all the time, and then there's a quiet to the home that's different than maybe you even like realize. And I know like for you, I couldn't imagine like if I didn't have Amara here, like that would be so difficult. And like so yeah, I mean, now I even feel even more for what you went through as well. Not that long ago, and practically yesterday. It was so recent.
Yep. It's interesting too, you say that, and I'll always bounce it back to what all of our viewers are dealing with, and that's illness. And so when you just said, thank God, you said, nah, hey, I really get what you're talking about now. So it's one thing for the viewers that are listening to this who are suffering with whatever ailments you have, and of course, kidney stones, because that's why you're listening. Patients will say, nobody really understands what I'm talking about. And that's why for Jeff and I, it's so important to create a community, because nobody can really, they can sympathize with you and say, oh, God bless, I'm so sorry that happened. But empathy is a totally different thing. So once you go through it, something, like Jeff knows now what I have gone through for the last few months. So he can say, hey, look, I get it. That's why the community of the kidney stone community is so friggin' important, because you're not getting help where you need it. Maybe your loved ones are so sick of hearing about kidney stones and the fact that you can never have spinach again for the rest of your life, or get the almond out of the house. So it's very important to surround yourself with people that understand what you're going through. And for the person who's dealing with it, like Jeff, he totally knows it's going to give him some kind of comfort, like I hope the viewers get from us, because we've had things, we know what they're going through, and we're here to help it. And Jeff knows that I know what he's going through. So it just is so different than if he told someone who never had a pet. Mm-hmm. It's very, very different. So before we started talking, we were talking about, how there's just some pets in your life. I've had pets my whole adult life, but nothing hit me like Luke. There's just sometimes an animal gets you like nothing ever in your whole world. And so for Jeff, that was Alpha. Mm-hmm. For me, it was Luke. And it's so special, you can't even put it into words. So, I feel grateful that we can talk about things like this, Jeff, and then also share it with our community so people understand we get it. So it's just really important to have a tribe whenever you go through stuff. And it's really great that you have Amara with you, so everybody can take a turn feeling bad and then picking the other one up.
So we're back. We had a little technical difficulty with the phone here. Yeah. Right. So we were talking about like having a tribe and the importance of having a tribe in our lives. So, because like having Amara here has been so valuable, and I'm so grateful for that. And like I know the challenges you've gone through just without Luke around, but then also the community, like you had said, that having people within the tribe, within the kidney stone diet community on Facebook and elsewhere, that's one of the big parts. It's so important to have someone who can really empathize with what we're going through.
Oh, it totally is. And not only that, but so, I've been sick too. I think why so many people kind of trust me, they trust me, and they're like, oh, this girl knows what's going on, because I've been so very sick. So when you can identify with somebody over whatever adversity they have, I mean, it's just a wonderful thing. And yes, me being on my own, being single, it can be isolating. It just can. It's not easy. It's easy to get in a funk. It's easy to get depressed. It's easy to not go to your, back to your normal lifestyle, exercise. Thank God that I'm so consistent with exercise. I haven't for 3 weeks because my back has been hurt, but which is the longest I've been without exercise for years. But anyway, but I tend not to eat when I'm stressed. So everybody does different things. So it is really helpful. Like, you have Amara there. If you're trying hard to get out of bed, she's like, come on, let's go, so you have each other. And for those people who are suffering with illness and they're on their own, single, it's hard. It can be very isolating, whether it's sickness or death in the family, whether that's your pet or a human, whatever. It can be, there's just an extra something that you're really going to have to lift yourself up. You're going to have to find it from within. And it may take a little longer because you don't have that outside motivation. This is why community is so very, very important with anything you're struggling with. And that's why that Facebook, my patients on that page, my students and my followers will say, oh, it's such a blessing. It's a blessing for me. Like, they're like, thank you, Jill. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, guys, because it's a blessing for me too, when we're able to verbalize the things that we're going through and get support from it outside of ourselves. It's a wonderful thing. And I'm a huge community person. I just love it so much. Yeah. And I know, sure. And I know you are too. You value that. So
definitely. But yeah, and if you're not already a part of the kidney stone prevention group that's on Facebook, you can just look up kidney stone prevention group, or if you go to kidneystonediet.com, you can find the link from there. But yeah, I think we should dive into our first question this week.
Okay.
Hi, Jill. My name is Judith. I live in Western Michigan. And my question is about protein. I know that I understand the limit on animal protein for the diet. What I'm wondering is there an upper limit of protein that we should be trying to avoid? Because I get protein from a lot of other sources, grains and legumes and nuts and so on. So I need to know what's the total protein that we should have for a day. Thanks much.
Judith, this is a very important question, and it can get complicated. People have a lot of questions about it. So first of all, on the kidney stone diet, and you can get the goals of the diet at kidneystonediet.com, the start page, a bunch of free resources to ground you when you're beginning this very overwhelming journey. The meat protein. I don't eat red meat, Jill. I'm not. People, meat. Chicken is meat. Turkey is meat. Red meat is not the only meat. Think seafood. So anything that's flying and moving and swimming, that's meat. We count that as meat. So there is a limit, 0.8 kilograms per pound, up to 1 kilogram per pound. Jeff has on the Kidney Stone Diet website, he has put together a calculator that you put, so you can Google this, people, how to calculate your meat protein needs. Google it, how to calculate your meat protein needs. Okay. And in that, so it will say, and it's like written for a baby, because I am terrible with math. It takes you step by step. I use my weight. So on the lower end, and this is also the RDA, meaning this is what our country says, the minimum you should be getting is 0.8 kilograms per pound of body weight. Okay. And so the calculator will take you step by step on how to convert all this. I know it's annoying because we do everything in grams here in the States, but the medical community is doing everything by kilograms. Okay. So it's a little confusing, but if you put your if you calculate what you need to in the calculator Jeff made for us, you'll find out the answer will be, like, for me, it's something like I can have 44 to 55 grams of protein a day, okay, of meat protein. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to have other sources of protein. I could have eggs. I could have the limited amount of nuts. I could have some beans. They're all high in oxalate, Jill. Portion, not perfection. You can still have those things. You just don't want to eat pounds of beans a day like my vegan friends were doing. Okay. So, the soy is high in oxalate, Jill. Look at your list. You can still incorporate soy. And I'm saying these things because vegans are like, where am I going to get my protein needs met? And so you can still eat. There's vegetable sources for vegetarians. There's low-fat dairy. So all of that counts towards protein needs. Judith is saying, how much can I have, girl? How much? How much? What's my upper limit? We really don't want you to go past 1.0 to 1.2 kilograms of protein per, I always screw this up.
Oh no, it's
Hold
okay.
on.
No, it's because like you said, it's the kilogram, gram, all that stuff is a
Yes,
little
yes,
complex
because
for
I
us.
think of everything towards grams. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So here's the goal: 0.8 to 1.0 kilograms per pound. You can go as high as 1.2 kilograms per pound, but it starts getting. Some of you may have issues with uric acid. Some of you may, and your doctor will tell you, watch your protein. Now, dairy protein, eggs, the milk products, seeds, beans, nuts, they're not going to affect uric acid. Okay.
And real quick, I just wanted to jump in. I think
Go ahead.
we might have said kilogram instead of gram. So it's a weird, so there is the calculator on the site at kidneystonediet.com/protein. It makes it so much easier.
Yes.
But yeah, like on there, it's 0.8 to 1.0 grams per kilogram of body weight. But we don't think about our kilograms of body weight. So it
we think of pounds.
Yeah, so it throws it off. But I'll throw it up on the screen real quick. But we do have this calculator here. So any whatever number, you just pop in the number and it immediately says like someone who's 200 pounds, that's 73 to 91 grams of protein a day. I just wanted to jump in real quick just because, I think,
thank you.
I think it might've been flipped on the grams, kilograms, but I don't think that way at all. I think all pounds. So
right. None of us do. So that's why it's confusing. And that's why you built that calculator. So I think the point is this. So we're saying meat protein on the kidney stone diet goals. We're saying meat protein because it can specifically raise your uric acid and lower your pH a bit. So we're cognizant of that. Okay. But that doesn't mean you can't have other forms of protein. It also doesn't mean that you can't. I don't want people to have 200 grams of protein. We just don't need that. So me as a little bodybuilder, a little fitness girl here, I get about, 60 grams of protein, 75 grams of protein. That's the upper limit because I'm weightlifting. So anything more than that, and Jeff, what do you always call it that I always forget? There's always a point where it ain't going to build no more muscle.
Yeah, there's diminishing returns. The law of diminishing returns. Yeah.
Yes. So what Jeff is saying, it's like you can stuff 200 grams of protein in my small body at 5'2", 120 pounds, but I'm not going to get any more muscle. So I want enough protein because we need that. And that the US is 0.8 kilograms per pound.
I think.
God dang it, Jeff.
Yeah. And so it'd be 0.8 grams per kilogram.
Right.
Yeah, and then we have to recalculate that. But yeah, so like in the post too, you sort of mention how your weight is 122 pounds. When you convert it to kilograms, it's 55.4. So like how you get the numbers, but don't worry, you don't need a graphing calculator or anything to make this happen. We just have a very simple calculator on the site where you literally just, if you're only listening and you haven't seen it, you just plug in your weight in pounds and then it takes care of everything for you.
Yes. Now, the next question, which I won't screw up. The next question is this. Well, how many grams? And it will tell you on the website how many grams of protein you can have. Now, listen to this. If you want to know, I want 3 ounces of chicken. How many grams of protein is that? It's about 23 grams of protein. Okay. So if I only need 45 to 55 grams of protein a day, that meets my needs, the upper end and the lower end. 2 pieces of chicken breast, 6 ounces of chicken, and my protein needs are met. So you can see it adds up quickly. And if I throw some egg whites on there, and if I throw some, salmon, that's part of meat protein. If I throw some beans in there, you can quickly start accumulating protein. Now, the vegetable and the dairy protein is, we are not concerned about that in stone formation, but that doesn't mean we want you to eat 15,000 egg whites. Okay. So the meat protein needs fits in the calculator because we don't want your risk of calcium oxalate stones to go up or your uric acid stone risk to go up. Okay. Too much protein. Dr. Coe will say, think starting at 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram.
Good. That's perfect.
Meat protein, that starts raising urine calcium. Okay. So then there is an added risk. So we want you to really watch how much meat protein you're eating, but the other sources of protein, like I said, the low fat dairy, the eggs, the cheese, but again, cheese has salt in it. So the vegetables, there's vegetables that have protein, nuts, seeds. That doesn't mean you could eat as much of those things. Remember, most of you are visiting us because you ate too much of something or not enough of something else like calcium. So, it's everything within moderation. And like Jeff says, the rate of diminishing return, you're only going to get so many muscles. My muscle will only get so big. I'm not going to eat 15 chicken breasts. It's not going to make my little muscle any bigger. So you want to get you where you need to go, and you don't got to go much further than that. So the upper limit of all protein, unless your doctor has told you otherwise, because there's some groups, you got chronic kidney disease, maybe lower. You're an older adult like me and older than me, you may have to have a little bit more because we start losing muscle mass. And that's a real thing too. So talk to your doctor about how much is the correct amount for you. But typically the guidelines are 0.8 to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. Okay.
Perfect.
I mean, I don't know how I expect my students and patients to remember it if I can't. I mean, but we don't think this way. That's why we have the calculator.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to just go to kidneystonediet.com/protein, or if you just Google kidney stone diet protein calculator, either way, it'll be the first result on Google. But yeah, just to make it super simple. But yeah, thank you, Judith. Thanks for your question, for calling in. And if you have a question that whether or not we've answered it before, if you just want to get your specific question answered, that number is 773-789-8763, and we will feature you on a future episode. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. And if you want more, you can head on over to kidneystonediet.com, where you can find the calculator, like we mentioned. You can find a bunch of free content, the blog, the recipes, the meal plans, which is a premium content piece where every week Jill sends out inspiration for how to approach your diet that week. And maybe you're sort of running into the I don't have anything to eat sort of camp right now. And the recipes and the meal plans is really to inspire you, to show how much you do have. And then there is the prevention course and everything else too, but tons of free content, a weekly email newsletter that's absolutely free that you can sign up for. And yeah, that's all at kidneystonediet.com. So yeah, thanks again for listening and sharing in our experiences sort of up top with the show and everything we're going to. We appreciate all of you out there and everything that you're going through as well. And we want to support you in your journey and what you're dealing with right now. But I think we are very grateful for your support, and subscribe, please, if you care to. But I think overall, we're really happy that you come back and visit us and that we get to share things with you. And we love it when you share with us. So please, in the comments, if you have anything you want to share about your pets or anything at all, we'd love to hear. I write everybody back. So we love having all of you here with us. Thanks for trusting us, and thanks for being here. Yeah, and we'll see you next time.